And a very good Wednesday morning, everyone. O'Don here in the Tri-State Traffic Show. Welcome to the big broadcast. A little bit of a false start here. I thought I was live just 2 minutes ago, and I was talking to myself for 3.5 minutes, and we were not live, but now we are live. Computer is really running fairly slow here this morning, so I think we just not quite sure what that was, but anyway, welcome to the Tri-State Traffic Show. We're live here at 7:46. We're up and running now until 9 a.m. here on Facebook and YouTube. Thanks for joining us. Kind of a rainy, gray, cloudy morning drive, and the maps and the incident lists certainly attest to that here. With our situation weather-wise, just waiting for the weather watchers to send over, make our connection here with our first weather hit. So I'm just waiting for that. So when I see that comes in, we'll jump right into weather here because that's going to be a big part of the morning ride. And speaking of that, we're seeing a lot of incidents again pop up across the board. So again, we're open here for business, live on Facebook and at YouTube. Wow, it's take a couple days off and I feel like I just forget how to do the show. So let's do this. Let's drop our banner. Let's bring in our branding here this morning. And you see the sponsors there at the bottom of the screen. Okay, so that looks normal, right? Okay, and I think our second weather report just got sent over. So let me do that here while I'll put you onto the map so you don't have to see me. So let me bring in the second weather report. Let that populate and do its thing. If you don't pardon me here as I just go to the full screen, I just need to close out of the program in the background so that doesn't eat any memory. There we go. All right. Let's see where we are now. So what we want to do is we'll get to that in just a moment, but let this first weather report populate here into the system. And there we go. So weather's going to be an important factor in the morning ride. So let's do that first. Here's James Gause in the Weather Center. And good morning, Jimmy.
Hi, Don. Happy Wednesday morning. This is James over at the Rutgers Weather Studio. Let's dive right into it. Looking at some important headlines for the upcoming future, we have some morning December rain expected for today. Nothing like showers in December, although that's kind of normal now, so whatever. And temperatures warming up above normal, as I will go into a little later, with plenty of cloudy days ahead. We have our commute forecast here. It's looking like rain in the morning, but it should be cloudy only by the afternoon. That rain should clear out, so that should make the evening commute a little nicer than the morning commute. Looking at today's highs, it is well above normal. We are at 57 here in Piscataway with lots of 57s throughout the entire tri-state area. We have a 55 up in Sussex, 56 for our folks out in Milford, and 57 down in Wildwood again. Looking at these lows, again, pretty similar across the board with these low 40s, with the highest 47 in New York, 45 for our folks up in Milford, 41 in Sussex, and 46 over in Camden. Looking at the futurecast, there's the rain for New Jersey and the tri-state area. Wednesday at noon, we'll have a band coming through, but it is expected to clear out for clear skies. Thursday morning, the clouds will even be gone, with some sun peeking through for your morning commute on Thursday. Consider some sunglasses, maybe. That clear sky will stick around with some occasional clouds for the entirety of Thursday and into Thursday night, with a partly cloudy Friday morning. This has been Rutgers Weather Watcher James Gause. Back to you, Don.
Thank you, James. Nice job, my friend, and thanks for joining us here on a rainy Wednesday morning on this December 7th, actually Pearl Harbor Day. Again, it's a day of remembrance. I just feel like Pearl Harbor Day, is slowly kind of you put off into the distance. We definitely need to remember those who were lost on that fateful day in Pearl City, Hawaii. I'm trying to think it was 1941. So that was some 81 years ago today. Yeah, so please definitely remember that. Towards the end of the show, when we're in one of the breaks with James doing the weather, I'm going to see if I can bring up some pictures from our travels there. Hold on one second. Oh, I just had to get some water. Wow, I feel like fish out of water here with the show all of a sudden. Okay, excuse me. So let's do this. Comments are lighting up here. So let's do this. Connor says, "Good morning, Don. Good morning. Had a hard time with this wet weather. Absolutely, yeah. Anytime you get any kind of traffic and weather always go together. So we're seeing definitely a mass chaos situation out here. So good morning, Connor. Anna, buenos dias from a very foggy Homedale. I can barely see my neighbor's house. Yeah, visibility is pretty rough there. Good morning. Always good to see you, and always good to see Alexandra. Good morning from New York City. How was the ride in? How were the trains? Just kind of a yucky, ugly kind of morning. But hey, the temperature here in Central Jersey is 56. Just think if this was, 30 degrees colder or whatever, we'd be seeing snow. So I'm okay with this weather being 56 degrees. And Anna says, great job, James. Yes, James does a very nice job, as do all of our weather watchers. Okay, so let's see here. Alexander says, my train ran 5 minutes behind, but nothing major. Now that's pretty good. Okay, so let's get to New Jersey now. And there's so many things happening here before we get to the maps. We'll start off along 295 here, northbound exit 30, left shoulder is out, broken down truck 22 east. Just before Hillside Avenue, we've got a lane down there. That's a tough spot. We'll look at that on the maps in a minute. Turnpike's North Bay Extension, eastbound west of the Bay Bridge. I'm assuming that is getting just onto the bridge. Another crash on 295 south here at south of exit 32. Broken down tractor trailer on Route 4 east at Teaneck Road. A lane is down there. Crash in the Parkway, express lanes. North at 124, just before the Bon Jovi rest area. Left lane is shut there. And then a Parkway north at 81. We've got the right lane shut. 80. Local lanes east of exit 62, right lane is shut, and downpole on 46 in both directions west of Plymouth Road and Fairfield. All lanes are still shut there. That's a tough spot. All right, so let's go to the maps now. Okay, so let's unpack all of this. Let's go to the 46 closure here. This is basically the way I go to Me TV. So actually, it's probably good that I'm not going up there this morning. This is out by Rosalie Pierogi, if I'm saying that correctly. Excellent stuff if you're ever up in that area. So it's through this intersection here. Everything is going to be. They're saying everything is closed, but that would certainly bode well for what we're seeing here on 46. We're all the way back, almost back to, basically 280 on that eastbound side. And that's why a lot of people are bailing out on 280 itself because of the closure of 46. If you don't have to get off locally, then I would say to go with Route 80 through Fairfield, because that's obviously the much better ride. Or if you have to come into the business park here in Fairfield out through this stretch, then I would say you're probably better off if you're coming from eastern Essex County, probably doing the Route 3 westbound 46 combo there. You can see 80, a bunch of accidents here out by Route 19. So we'll show you that in a minute. Just mass chaos here on 208 now, getting word of a crash along 208 at Goffle Road, heading south. 17 into Paramus, that is fairly busy. 17 in either direction through Essex Street up through Rochelle Park. Central Avenue Parkway is just a multi-mile jam here, basically from Clark 135 straight up the line all the way to Route 3. Turnpike actually faring a little bit better. 7 is getting hit hard here through Kearney, North Arlington. Both ways to Route 3 out by Bloomfield Avenue is crowded. Let's see what else we've got. We got the Hudson River crossings, just absolutely catastrophic here, and we'll get to that in a moment. Turnpike, a ton of traffic going north from 13 up to 14. 19 through Elizabeth is crowded as well. Eastbound 22 into Mountainside is very, very busy. 287. I think there was something going on here just past, just before James Street. for the approach into Morristown, and that's a multi-mile delay as well. Let's check out Route 80 now. We go east of Rockaway from 35 all the way out to 41. And, you know, Western Jersey, again, there's very little volume out here along 78, 80, and 46. 287, the typical areas here, both directions as we get up into Bound Brook. Route 28, both ways through Edison, out through about exits 5 and 6. There's your parkway delays, the express lanes for that crash out by Bon Jovi. The turnpike, though, is faring fine. Westbound 195 is busy at the turnpike. Then again, 29 into the Trenton Tunnel. We're seeing delays here as well. North on 295, just past the Pennsylvania extension into 130. A little bit further south. Come on with this map. There we go. Just Deptford, just a mess. 55, 295, 42, just mass chaos across the board. Into Philly, Ben Franklin Bridge is getting hit hard as well. So is the ride on 38, 70. Again, just a lot of volume out there. People leaving early. That's good, but it's just kind of compounding things with our morning drive. AC, Somers Point, down through Cape May, everything is good. North on the Parkway, getting into 82 is busy with that crash, and then a little bit heavier here in the Lakewood area. So let's do this now. First, let's go. Oh, no, we can't do that yet. I can't go to the cameras yet because we got a big situation here on the FDR Drive. Is closed at 34th Street. It's been that way with an accident investigation for a couple of hours now. And you can see the damage is just catastrophic. I mean, we're back to the Brooklyn Bridge going north. Southbound, a lot of rubbernecking into that delay, into that closure, getting south about the 130s all the way down to the Midtown Tunnel. West side is just jacked up here south of the George Washington Bridge. Then again, West Street is awfully busy here. Coming down from the Lincoln Tunnel in the 40s all the way down to the Hudson Street, Holland Tunnel area. So that is just a mess. Also, your Bronx is getting hit hard with a couple of accidents being reported there. We will take it to that. Let's see. That's it. Okay, so the 95 accident is cleared up, but one was at Castle Hill, the other at White Plains Road, so almost right in the same area. But you can see the westbound side is a disaster. So the southbound Bruckner, Bronx Parkway, the Deegan. I mean, it's one of these days that you should just do the work from home thing. I mean, it is just absolutely horrific out here, all across the board. Just a mess. Holy cow. Staten Island is seeing a ton of traffic as well, getting up to the Verrazano, the Belt with his wet conditions, lots of standing water here out by Flatbush Avenue, inbound Gowanus. It's just an absolute catastrophe right off the basically back from West Shore Expressway onto 278, which is technically eastbound, is backed up from the West Shore Expressway all the way to the Brooklyn Bridge. This is probably going to run you about an hour and a half just to get through all of this. Horrific. Just an awful day to commute. Midtown Tunnel's about 35. Ed Koch is about 10. BQE is Queens Boulevard straight on down to the Promenade. Both ways of the LIE. I mean, there's no movement here in Eastern Queens on the LIE, the Grand Central, the Van Wyck, the Cross Island from the Southern State all the way up into the Grand Central. Cross Island is a disaster about by Bayside Marina. So is the Whitestone Expressway, westbound Grand Central. I mean, it is just an absolute horror show out here. No question about that. Let's go to Long Island. Let's check out the incident pages this morning before we get to all the cameras. Let's run it down. So we got an overturned vehicle westbound on the LIE at 62. The shoulder is out. Northern State, there's a crash on the shoulder at Glen Cove Road. Eastbound, the shoulder is shut here at 29. Eastbound between exit 29 and 28. Okay, so we go out to Long Island and just a ton of traffic on that southern from about 16 all the way out through the 30s. Westbound LIE here at 135 is heavy. The Northern State is just a mess. getting out to 106, 107. The Wantagh westbound LIE is busy, getting out to 39. Northern State getting hit hard here from the Sandy Coast all the way into 110. LIE again into Deer Park. The Sandy Coast pretty much that southern stretch, just end to end here, heading north from the Southern State up into the LIE. LIE is back through about exit 64 all the way through 55. Sunrise Highway into the merge. That is busy. Then again into Sayville. I mean, there's just a ton of traffic out here. Actually, heading out east to the Hamptons doesn't seem to be terrible through Southampton, Watermill, Bridgehampton, and into East Hampton. Whew, what? Holy cow. So good morning, everybody. You're watching the Tri-State Traffic Show. It's 8:01 here on the East Coast of the great United States of America. We are live on Facebook and YouTube. Please join the conversation like our great friends Alexandra, Anna, and Connor have here this morning. Please post up a comment. We're in the comment section. You see there are sponsors at the bottom of the screen, sponsored by Crime for Vanilla Bean Creamery, as well as Shave Cave, Travels with Darley, and also Maxim Motor Cars. So we'll do a full sponsorship probably. We'll do it at like 8:45 just because of the fact that there's so much going on because the weather is just not conducive for a good ride. All right, so we'll look at the map of Connecticut. We'll go to the Connecticut instant list. Just delays here. So we're just delays. So there's no crashes of any type. Southbound Route 8 is fairly heavy into the Commodore Hall Bridge. And then again, further south into maybe about exit, what is that? 9, 10, somewhere in that area. North into West Haven on 95 is busy. The Merritt is just jacked up from 49 straight down to 41, then from 40 on over to 36, 95. We're thinning it up a little bit here into Fairfield, but then south of about the Fairfield rest area, about 22 or so, from 22 all the way down, 22 down through about exit 6 is just a mess. And then more traffic here on the Merritt something must have happened here. Yeah, this is out by 28, south of exit 28 or so. That's a crash being cleared. Go to lower Westchester now. Let's bring in that list. Valley incidents. Wow, it is just ugly out here this morning. Man. Visibility here at the Bear Mountain Bridge. We know about that. New England Thruway southbound after 15. Route 9 closed. Both directions. Jack Road. All lanes are shut out to Peekskill. Look at all these incidents here. 84, broken down vehicle on the shoulder. Sprain north, broken down vehicle, Jackson Avenue. Sprain heading south. Shoulder is out north to 287. Down tree wires. That's what the Route 9 closure is. Traffic on the Bear Mountain Bridge, East Rockland, Orange County side to Westchester. Route 9 closure. Okay. Maps now. We'll take a look at lower Westchester. Sprain is busy here. Looks like we may have a crash after Arsley Road heading north. Yeah, something's definitely going on there to the northern sections of Yonkers. The Thruway 9A, that is fine. The Hutch, as you travel both ways up towards 125, that is going to be busy, but 95 looks like whatever that crash was is gone. 287 is good east of exit 6, but really it's between 2 and 6 is the problem. Thruway looks great. Tappan Zee Bridge, a little bit heavy here, getting over to Westchester. And then further up the line, seeing some more delays here on the Taconic and the 117 into Route 100 and through Valhalla. And then as you continue further south, looks like there's a crash here just south of 100C just before 287. Southbound Thruway is busy into between 14 down to 12. When is that never an issue for the morning ride, right? We head up towards Orange County. Things are good. Goshen, Route 684, the thruway is fine. Here's that Bear Mountain Bridge because the closure on Route 9 here this morning. So that's all tuned up here. Again, because of that closure. Let's go back to that. Let's just populate that. On Route 9, both directions, Jack Road and West 6. Jack Road and Cortland. Gotta be right in here somewhere. Maybe into the Ansville traffic circle? I can't find that. I don't know where the heck that is. Get to the comments in just a brief moment, but let's see. Gotta be right in here somewhere. Oh, it's out here. This is where it's shut between here down at the circle. That's why everyone's bailing out on 9D and trying to come down that side of it. Oh, I see. Okay. Copy that. Okay. So, yeah, that's a big problem. Wow. 84 looks great. So all the way out through the Brewster area, but 684 is just a mess as we head south of 84 all the way down to Golden's Bridge just before Route 35. Just a ton of traffic there. All right, let's take a pause in the action here this morning. Connor says thoughts on Giants game this weekend against the Eagles. Well, it's certainly not going to be easy. Hopefully they can put something together here after this 2-game losing streak. Well, you can't say they lost. They didn't lose. They tied the Commanders. So, but Alexander says in response to Connor's question, I'm slowly losing faith in the Giants. And then Connor says, Alexander, honestly, watching the Commanders game last weekend, it felt like it was hard to beat in the OT. Well, yeah. I guess misery has company along with the Jets for Aaron and the Jets, myself and my brother and everybody else that I know. So yeah, this is not the time that you want to be hitting the getting the into the L column. You know, the bye weeks are finished. This is it. This is the push to the playoffs now. So the wild cards. But, I think wild card, you're probably going to have to get to 9 wins at least. Probably for the Giants, I'm thinking maybe 10. So, but Giants Eagles is always an enormous game. We will see. Maybe they step up to the plate, as you say, and maybe Eagles are solidly in at 11-1. So they've got a lot to play for. Don't get me wrong, but who knows what happens? We'll see. That's why they play the game, right? So we'll see what happens this weekend. Is that game here or is that in Philly? I don't know. I think it's here actually. The game is here at MetLife, but I don't know. I know the Army Navy game is at MetLife on Saturday, so Alexander, be aware of that. That's going to be mass chaos in that area too. Hopefully, when we take a look at the weather here in 5 minutes with that 7 day, hopefully there won't be any kind of rain because that's a wonderful game, that Army Navy game. That's one of the best. It's amazing. All right, so let's do this. Let's go to the Hudson River crossings now. Out. We've got over an hour at the George, over an hour at the Lincoln, because a lot of folks bailed out to head down to Midtown, and also about a half an hour plus at the Holland Tunnel. Let's go to transit now. Let's dial that in. Lots of delays here. Main Bergen line, 822 arrival to Hoboken 15. 902 arrival to Hoboken Montclair up to 25. 41 departure from Lake Apacong was canceled. River line, subject 15-minute delays both ways. And Hudson Bergen Light Rail 806 arrival to Tunnelly Avenue is canceled because of mechanical issues. Let's go to Path. We kind of got a first POV look at the Path trains from Kendra. Newark World Trade delayed. Medical assistance there. Hopefully everyone's okay. At World Trade. All right. Alexander says tight race in the NFC. Yes, it is, with the Cowboys and the Eagles and the Giants. It's a home game. Yep. So they're at MetLife on Sunday, so which means the Jets are on the road. Jets play. We can take a look at that as well. So there's Path. Let's go to the MTA now. Let's dial that in. Surprisingly, the MTA is really looking good. Only one delay here. Southbound Q trains running with delays to address the door problem on a train at Parkside Avenue. Wow. Okay. Let's see here now. Some delays in the Babylon branch. Babylon doing a pen at 8:56, 10:15 being delayed because of earlier congestion. Babylon, extra service in the Montauk branch. 5:39 from Montauk to Long Island City. 40 is operating 10 to 15 and equipment trouble has been extended. So they're adding extra train service from Port Jeff, doing 100, supposed to be extended to Long Island City this morning. Okay. Same thing is here. Quick delays in the Hudson line. Experienced 15, 20 minutes because of switch issue near Garrison. All right. Connor says, looking at the cameras in Route 18 is packing in. Yes, it is. So let's bring in the turnpike cameras first. I want to check out that parkway. That parkway seems to be the real problem here. On Jovi, that would be 5. You can see the sloppy start. I think that's where the crash was. That's why that camera's moved around. It's amazing after doing this all for so many years, you just get used to the same shots that they put up all the time. But no, accident is still there. So that's the express side into Bon Jovi here this morning, going north. That camera timeout. There we go. Lighten it up. So there it is, north in the Bon Jovi express lanes. Just an catastrophic disaster with this crash still being cleared. You can see roadways are wet. It is just ugly out here. Stay with the local lanes. It's going to be the much easier drive for you. Looks like south of the Driscoll. You can see, look at a heavy fog at the top of the bridge. Oofa. It's a stiff shot. Go to north of 82 now. Stability doesn't look terrible there. That seems to be fine. Here's at 82A. We're moving fine. Toms River, a little soggy as well. North of the Toms River tolls. Into 89. That's busy north through Brick. 91 is good. The 195, we are fine. Further up the line, let's go to Clark. 135, 136, all the way through 136, 137, 138 in Kenilworth through the long-term construction. This is out at just north of the Union Tolls. There's the tower. Look at that ugly shot. Oof. Oof. Who wants to be out in this? on the 78. This is in Irvington at 144. Just ugly. It is just horrible out here. This weather is just miserable. The overpass, southbound moves away at a heavy pace. Let's go north of 147. A lot of delays in either direction there. Through 148 in Bloomfield, you can't even move. This shot here, that just kind of tells the tale, right? I mean, it is, boy. This is into the Essex tolls, or the old Essex toll going north. This is at 151 in Nutley. Bergen tolls, look at that, just packed in there. Packed and packed, as Jimmy G says. Up through Paramus. So it gets a little bitter once you get to 165, but all the aggravation that you've sat in for the last hour and a half doesn't toll us in that. All right, so let's go to the Weather Center. Let's talk to weather watcher Jimmy Gause from Rutgers, giving us an update on this ugly weather. Good morning, Jim.
Hello, Don, and hello to all your viewers. I'm Rutgers weather watcher James Gause here at the studio with a brief forecast. Let's jump right into it. We are looking at some morning December rain hanging around this Wednesday morning with temperatures warming up well above normal. These clouds will stick around for multiple days, though, so it will be a bit till we see our beloved sunshine. Looking at the highs, we are well above normal with 57s everywhere in the tri-state area. We have 57 in New York, Piscataway, and Trenton with a 56 for our folks up in Milford and a 59 down in Millville in southern New Jersey. Looking at these lows, no freezing warnings here, just some low to mid 40s. We have some 43s in Trenton and Piscataway, 45 as our low for our folks up in Milford. We have 41 as the coldest up in Sussex, New Jersey, and a low of 44 in Millville, New Jersey. Looking at the futurecast, we'll see a band of rain hit in our area, New Jersey. It'll make its way towards Connecticut shortly after, around noon on today. And then it will clear out with some clouds lingering around, finally clearing out. Thursday morning might be a good idea to bring those sunglasses for that commute. It will stay clear with some partly cloudy skies for most of Thursday and partly cloudy morning on Friday. Here's our 7-day forecast with some morning rain today, with partly cloudy skies expected for a warmer Thursday and Friday. A cloudy Saturday is inbound with a chance of rain on Sunday, with highs pretty constant in the mid to high 40s, with lows in the 30s for the most part. We have rain also predicted on Tuesday, but that's a bit far out in advance, so we'll get back to that later. This has been Rutgers weather watcher James Gause. Back to you, Don.
Thank you, James. Once again, great job, pal. And you saw that 7-day weather forecast. So temps are well above freezing across the board here, into the mid to upper 40s. So we'll certainly take that all the time here in December and twice on Sundays, they say, right? So Army-Navy game looks like it's going to be cloudy. Temps into the mid 40s. Looks like weather probably not going to be an issue for the Giant game, but we'll see. Still another couple days out from that. All right, so it is 8:19 here this morning. Got a nice crowd joining us. So 8:45, we'll do our final weather. We'll do our full sponsorships. At 8:45, we'll go through the sports piece, kind of run down some things. So obviously, it seems like the world is waiting. The world is on bated breath, waiting for Aaron Judge to figure out how many, whether he's going to make $42 million a year or $45 million a year. Tough life and tough decisions that you have to make, right? At 31 years old. So the world is on bated breath, waiting to see if, he will sign back with the Yankees or he's going to head out west and go to the San Francisco Giants. So if anything, it's putting a nice focus on the baseball, which is good to see because I do enjoy baseball quite a bit. Mets, making some big moves as well, getting Justin Verlander. Where did that come from? Wow. That's Steve Cohen. He's got all the money in the world, literally, just about. So he can load up that team, see how it plays out. All right, so we'll do that. So again, 8:45 weather first. Then we're going to do a little bit of sports for a couple minutes, and then we're going to take a look. I found the photos from Pearl Harbor. Again, never forget Pearl Harbor here. 81 years later, on this December 7th, Pearl Harbor Day. I think I was just hearing the news that, maybe if the youngest youngest person that was enlisted at that point in the service was maybe 17. Again, back then, there are a lot of folks that were, only 15, 16, and were looking to enter the service, and they lied about their age and so forth. And a lot of them actually got in. So, they would be just about almost 100, 97, 98, 99 years old. I mean, there are still some Pearl Harbor survivors that are still with us, but they are well up close to 100, if not over. So, unfortunately, those Pearl Harbor ceremonies that they have in Pearl City, every year that group gets thinner and thinner, unfortunately, for those heroes there. But anyway, again, just take maybe just a brief moment just to remember those that were lost in the attacks there on Pearl Harbor, December 7th. Now, again, we're 5 hours behind or ahead, actually. So it's only 3:21. So it's really trying to do the time math in my head. Oh, because when you go to Pearl Harbor and you go see the Arizona and they have the remembrance area and the timeline of when things happen, at this point, Japanese planes were more than likely probably in the air at that point. We're getting close to it. I mean, there was no jets at that point, so things took a lot longer to get from point A to point B. But attack took place, I think, like 8:01, 8:02. Because if you go, I think I have a picture of the clock. There's an actual clock that was actually on the Arizona that they found that it actually stopped exactly at the time of the attack. A living history of what happened. So that would make it about 1 o'clock in the afternoon our time here. That took place. Okay, so let's get back to our roads here, and it's just you don't even know where to begin. I'm going to do here. Let's just run down a list again just to see if anything new has popped up. No, I want to go to do some spot checks here. We'll go to the cameras across our region. So first, I want to go to 80 in New Jersey. I want to start it off first at Route 15. Let's dial that in. That's okay. And actually, it looks like it, potentially maybe clearing a little bit. Fact is, as I say that, before I forget, let's go to do this, because that's the one thing James doesn't have, is that radar screen. Here it is at 8:18. So it looks like the rain is slowly shutting off for most of New Jersey. There's still some moderate showers out through Bucks County, Allentown, Harrisburg, Hazleton, Lehighton, Palmerton. So let's put this in motion. Let's see which way this is going. We may get another halfway decent shot of rain here in the next 2 hours or so, by 11 or so. And then South Jersey may get clipped here with this little bit of precip coming in. But as you see it behind it, there's a lot of moisture out here this morning. So say this is kind of breaking apart from this group of rain. Kind of has like a little jog to the north and to the east, north and to the west slightly. Maybe actually more of a northerly kind of jog here. So some of these heavier showers may just clip Sussex County and towards Port Jervis, maybe. But then behind it, I think once we get through the lunchtime hours into the afternoon, I don't want to say it's going to be clearing, but the rain is certainly, I think, going to shut off, because back through the Midwest, it is wide open. I don't think any of this is really going to make its way towards us. Um, Okay. All right. So let's come off of that. Let's just go to some spot checks of cameras. This is at exit 42. East is on the left is heavy. Let's go out to Two Bridges Road. Again, these cameras are just awful. They look terrible, whether it's good weather or bad. Let's go out by Route 19, where there's been some activity as well. The eastbound here, there's a crash onto the shoulder. Let's go through Madison Avenue, and traffic A is heavy going west. Here it is at Route 20. That's just catastrophic in either direction there. Let's go out towards the Parkway. That's a camera seems to be working. That's eastbound that heads away. 17. A lot of rain there, obviously. Over to that's east westbound moving away through Hudson Street. Downside is fairly busy. So let's see what else we can do. Let's go to 287. That was the other issue. North Maple. Bet you that's going to be a parking lot. Looking the wrong way, though. North on the far right, barely moving. You're at James Street. It's before James Street into Morristown. That's where we're seeing a lot of traffic there. This is out through Route 10. Wow, that's a lot of traffic. Ooh, there's a lot of brake lights there. This is out at 287. Okay. I'm sorry, that's at Route 80, I should say. Let's go into Edison. Let's check out that vibe. Going north, that's Route 28. Show you that scene. That's slow both ways there. Where else can we go? We'll go to 295. The Aljo curve. Let's check that out. That's heavy here coming north. At 168. Really busy there. 70. I don't think that camera works. Oh, it does. Look at that. Again, it's just there. It's 295. 73. That camera's not working. Let's show you the Ben Franklin at the Walt Whitman. I'm sorry. Okay, that seems to be okay. Let's see what else we can do. Let's just again, these are just spot checks of some cameras. Let's go to Connor's Route 18 at Edgeboro. Dial that in. Kind of normal stuff heading north into the Turnpike. That is here. Oof, that's ugly at Narracon Plaza. So like Nakatomi Plaza. Both ways there is fairly, that northbound is really heavy. On over towards Route 1. Ton of traffic there into Route 27. Where it finally kind of clears up just a bit. And we will continue through to, let's take a spot check on Route 3. 21. Surprisingly, it looks pretty good. 17. Wow, that eastbound side is just hammered. It's just really bad out here this morning. There's no camera. Thought there was a camera there at Plymouth Street. To no chance. All right, let's go to the DOT in the city. Let's bring in 30 the FDR Drive now. Check out what the scene is here. Oh, stop. What is this? There's the closure of the northbound FDR Drive. Wow. I love how the city cuts off the sides of the signs for the tractor trailers so they don't clip off and take out the sign. Fantastic. That's north on the left is just absolutely horrific. Out by East 6th Street. Look at that. Wow. Wow. Wow is the only word I can say for that. Let's do our spot checks of the city now. See if we can show you. Go to Staten Island, and again, social media and stuff like that. I am the host, along with Nikki Stanzione of the Staten Island Morning Show. Let me know if you saw it or not. It's a new show there on statenisland.com, I believe is the website, or on Staten Island on sinetwork.com. I think we're still trying to work things out. It's a bit of a soft launch for the show, but it's a lot of fun. It's exciting. That will be every Monday and Tuesday, or we may switch it to Tuesday and Wednesdays. Not sure, but stay tuned. So there's the expressway out at the Verrazano. That looks pretty good, despite the fog here this morning. Be right back. Hold on. Okay. Again, with this gray, cloudy day out here, it's just it's just one of those days, and you can see the ride to the Outer Bridge crossing. A little busy there, getting back to Perth Amboy. The expressway of Richmond Avenue through that long-term construction, a little bit slow, but not as bad as what I was thinking. West Shore at Fresh Kills Creek seems to be doing fairly well. Let's go to the Brooklyn cameras. Change of tune here. First of all, the belt here at Bay 8th. Look at that. Wow. Right into Flatbush Avenue. Inbound Kiwanis at the BQE. The ramp is a disaster. Southbound side of the BQE on the left at Adams and the Brooklyn Bridge is busy. Inbound into the trench at Sackett, you're barely moving. Inbound here on northbound BQE Atlantic is busy. By the Williamsburg Bridge and Metropolitan Avenue is crowded. And there's the inbound Kiwanis. I mean, it barely is even moving here through Industry City, right up onto the Prospect. It is a work from home day. No doubt about it. Yep. I mean, unless you left like 5 this morning, it is just going to be like probably adding an extra hour to your ride. Off the Ed Koch and 2nd Avenue, busy off the lower roadway. 5th over by Saks looks pretty good. 7th to 34th. Looking at all these holiday lights and stuff, I feel like it should be snow, right? I mean, southbound FDR here at the RFK is just hammered into 96th Street up at the Brooklyn Bridge. Terrible. And you still got the FDR shut at 34th Street. Ahead of that. Henry Hudson here at 125 at 96th, West Street at the Intrepid. That's very busy because of the closure there. People avoiding the FDR. Let's go to the Bronx now. See your brake lights across the board. Westbound, what is that? The southbound Bruckner at Castle Hill. That's busy. Into the Bronx River Parkway, BRP 174. You can barely see it with the visibility. Major Deegan here at Willis. That's crowded, heading north. Looks like something was going on here onto the shoulder. East in the Cross Bronx out by Jerome. Henry Hudson to 232. That looks pretty good. Straight back to the George Washington Bridge. This is across the Alexander Hamilton Bridge. The Deegan here at the 230s. Just a wreck. Go to, let's do this. The belt by Cross Bay on the left is fairly heavy traffic. EQE at Broadway both ways. Grand Central. I think that's going westbound coming towards us. Jackie Robinson and Forest Park Drive. There, Midtown Tunnel is probably pushing 40 minutes plus. Westbound LA Queens Boulevard is a mess. The Van Wyck, the Grand Central is a mess as well. A ramp, the southbound BQE there off the westbound LIE, that's busy, but that's really the LIE at the BQE. Van Wyck at Hillside, just lots of brake lights in either direction. Wow. Awful out here this morning. Let's go back to Long Island. Let's check in with the incident pages here. Northern State Road, there's a crash the shoulder at 33, broken down vehicle. Shoulder is out. So we want to go to Northern at Glen Cove. The state cameras now. Got. There it is. It had to be here somewhere. There you go. Close at the right lane at IU Willits Road. IU Willits. IU. Again, friends, our comment section is open. I'm sorry, Alexander. On a happier note, Aaron and I got new phones this weekend. They're currently on back order. We should be getting them at the end of the month. Wonderful. Which models did you get of the iPhone? Anna says, thankfully, I'm working remotely today, but I will need your help tomorrow. Heading to Milburn tomorrow. I need to be at the office by noon. Hopefully, the weather will be better tomorrow. Weather looks like it definitely will be better tomorrow. Yeah, we can take care of that. I think if you left a little later, by 8:45, I think you'd be fine. But we'll see. Yeah. Just remind me, Anna, tomorrow. Dial that up. Let you know. Let's go. I want to go back to the incident pages again. Let's go to the Hudson Valley. Still a lot going on here. Bear Mountain Bridge getting the heavy delays because of the Route 9 closure because of a downed tree. Out by Jack Road and Route 6 in Peekskill, Portland to Peekskill. Crash injuries southbound on the Sprain just before 287. We've got 2 lanes shut. Cross County West, shoulders out with a crash. Sawmill, northbound ramp from Marble Ave, accident there. Crash. Accident is here, and that's evidence. You can see that's heavy traffic there. Sawmill. Sawmill up to Marble Avenue. Whoa, looks like a marble. Look out. Go back to Connecticut now. I just want to check in here. Bound 84 is a crash. Crash being cleared. Hello, everyone. I'm a crash being cleared. Down congested 59 66 Manchester. Way out of our area. 515. Go back here. Like every time we repopulate these maps, it gets worse and worse. Southbound Route 8 into the 25 connector is busy, and then again into Bridgeport. 95 is heavy from 20 straight on down the line, all the way through just about exit 6. Merritt Parkway south of 39 down to 36, and then from 46 all the way through 41 is busy. North here on, again, north getting onto 95 is crowded. There's your accident here on the Sprain heading south. Let's go up towards that Jack Road. Got jacked and tuned here because of the closure here at Jack Road along Route 9. That's why 9D is picking up a ton more traffic here this morning. Traffic merging in here at the Bear Mountain Bridge there. Rockland County Thruway still fairly consistent with your traffic from 14 down into 12. Continue. I mean, just look at all this red. You got nowhere to go. I mean, there's just stay home, friends. I mean, like, just call it out. Looks like there's a crash here getting into Cranford, maybe some type. I don't know, but it seems awfully heavy, and then it just goes to green. Getting past North Ave into 137. That 287 still all tuned up here. Almost back to 78. That's how bad that is. 80 still very busy in Patterson. So it's 208 going south at Goffle Road. Parkway is a multi-mile mess from 78 straight up to Route 3. Both ways of Route 3 is heavy. Out towards Avenue. Eastern Spur is getting tuned up. Let's do this now because we're at 8:45. Okay, so let's hold it to the schedule. Let's bring in Jimmy here with 7-day weather forecast again. James, take it away.
Hello, Don, and hello to all your viewers. I'm Rutgers Weather Watcher James Gause here at the studio with a brief forecast. Let's jump right into it. We are looking at some morning December rain hanging around this Wednesday morning with temperatures warming up well above normal. These clouds will stick around for multiple days though, so it will be a bit till we see our beloved sunshine. Looking at the highs, we are well above normal with 57s everywhere in the tri-state area. We have 57 in New York, Piscataway, and Trenton, with a 56 for our folks up in Milford and a 59 down in Millville in southern New Jersey. Looking at these lows, no freezing warnings here, just some low to mid 40s. We have some 43s in Trenton and Piscataway, 45 as our low for our folks up in Milford. We have 41 as the coldest up in Sussex, New Jersey, and a low of 44 in Millville, New Jersey. Looking at the futurecast, we'll see a band of rain hit in our area, New Jersey. It'll make its way towards Connecticut shortly after, around noon on today. And then it will clear out with some clouds lingering around, finally clearing out. Thursday morning might be a good idea to bring those sunglasses for that commute. It will stay clear with some partly cloudy skies for most of Thursday and partly cloudy morning on Friday. Here's our 7-day forecast with some morning rain today, with partly cloudy skies expected for a warmer Thursday and Friday. A cloudy Saturday is inbound with a chance of rain on Sunday, with highs pretty constant in the mid to high 40s, with lows in the 30s for the most part. We have rain also predicted on Tuesday, but that's a bit far out in advance, so we'll get back to that later. This has been Rutgers Weather Watcher James Gause. Back to you, Don.
Thank you, James. Nice job as always. We'll see the weather watchers on the traffic show here in the Weather Center tomorrow morning. So we thank them for all the hard work, and especially their president, Mr. John Rocco, for coordinating their efforts. So nice job, James, as always. Also, nice job, as always, is Ralph over at the Cranford Vanilliby and Creamery. 908-272-3000 is the phone number. 22 North Avenue West, or Route 28 in your GPS. In historic Cranford, New Jersey, right across from the Cranford train station. Make your way there. We've got a little over 2.5 weeks left before Ralph shuts down for the season. That will be at 6 p.m. on Christmas Eve on the 24th. So make a note of that. That is Saturday the 24th at 6 o'clock. I believe that normally when he closes at 6. Could be maybe a little earlier, but, head out and stock up on your ice cream now. It's not going to be, it'll be just fine for the next couple months until Ralph comes back into early March, usually just before St. Patrick's Day or so. Ralph takes a couple of months off and to regroup and retool and freshen up and relax, rest. And Ralph is doing 7 days a week pretty much from, probably straight from, May 1st straight through now. So he definitely deserves the break. Definitely deserves the break. So head over to the Cranford Vanilliby and Creamery website, cranfordvanillibyandcreamery.com. Follow them on Facebook. That'll give you the latest information as far as hours are concerned for the holidays. Get your holiday cakes, your holiday ice cream now. He's got the pumpkin, not the pumpkin. Well, he does have pumpkin still, but the peppermint bark. Fact is the matter. Let's do this. Find Cranford Vanilliby and Creamery. Load up the page, and we got to do this. There we go. So there's the Facebook page. Here, does he have anything with the holiday hours? Cotta Fig is back. Nice. So here are your flavors for the holidays: peppermint bark, hot cocoa, eggnog chip, gingerbread. Wow, that sign looks beautiful. I believe Ralph's daughter does artwork. She's a very talented artist, graphic artist, and I believe she does all the sandwich boards and signs for Ralph. So holiday cakes and ice cream centers are here, are perfect for holiday parties and gatherings. We sell it fast. Give us a call to reserve a wreath or a snowman cake, or stop by to pick up one. There you go. Look at that. That's a beautiful cake. Look at the snowman. That's fantastic. That'll be really good. Let's see what the young ladies have here with the, he's got the holiday colors, red, green sprinkles on the ice cream sandwiches. Very nice touch, Ralph. Stuff. Look at that. So that's your Cranford Vanilliby and Creamery. 908-272-3000 is the phone number. 22 North Avenue West in historic Cranford, New Jersey. CranfordVanillaBeanCreamery.com. We're also sponsored this half hour by The Shaved Cave, 1471 Raritan Road in Clark, New Jersey, not too far from the Vanilla Bean Creamery. 908-325-6283. Go in and talk to my guy Omar for the best hot towel shave, haircut, fades, freshen up for the holidays. Get some gift cards, maybe some loved ones. Start looking fresh for the new year. So Shave Cave is the best place in the tri-state area for your haircuts. Again, with the World Cup going on, there's a lot going on there. They have the games on. So if your team is playing what's left of the World Cup, which is coming to an end, probably another week and a half or so. But anyway, they're going to have the games up on the TVs inside the shop. So it's that classic barbershop with a modern feel to it. The fellas there, really a bunch of great guys. And again, kind of, you talk about in the barbershop stays in the barbershop. So there you go. I'll leave it at that. Anyway, so 1471 Raritan Road in Clark, 908-325. That's 325-6283. Definitely go to their Facebook page. Follow them on Facebook at The Shaved Cave. And again, that's in Clark, New Jersey. So we thank Omar as well as Alex for sponsoring the Tri-State Traffic Show. Also, we are sponsored this half hour by, let me bring it in here because we're coming down to time here because I got a hard out here at about 9:05. I got to make my way out. But is Maxim Motor Cars, Nick and Anthony out there in Morris County, West Clinton Street, 303. That's Route 15 in Dover, New Jersey, 973-620-9060. For an affordable used car. Again, I just heard just the other day that the average price for a vehicle today is close to $45,000. That is unbelievable. It's amazing when you watch these old Price is Right shows and other game shows from the 70s and early 80s. Cars were like $6,000 and $5,000 and, $11,000, but 45, that's just, wow. Literally like buying a small house. Anyway, so, head over to Maxim Motor Cars. These are affordable, high quality vehicles. Some are, I'm not gonna lie, 20 years old, but taken very well taken good care of. Higher mileage on them. But again, if you're looking for a vehicle to go from A to B, why not, right? See that Forester there probably still has another 100K left in the tank. Only 12,900, 2015. So 2004 Ford Taurus, 3,900. And that's 18 years old, 101,000 miles on it. Little lady from Pasadena kind of car, right? The Roadster here, that could be a little bit of a classic. Pontiac G8 base still hanging in there. Hasn't found a buyer for that, but he did find somebody to buy the 300M base model there. So that is now off the lot. So give Nick and Anthony a call, 973-620-9060 and 973-620-9060. Maxim Motor Cars, LLC.com is the website. And last but not least, let's talk about our friend, the lovely and talented Darley Newman with Travels with Darley. I have to find the slide. Where is it? I know it's here someplace. Hold on. I will find it. Let's see. Where is it? There it is. Travels with Darley. Great program on PBS Create, Amazon Prime, Wonder Innovation TV's journey. Darley-Newman.com is the website for more information about the program and about Darley and all of her travels around the world. Season 10 drops in January. And if you were with me at the beginning of the show, I said that we are in the process of scheduling out a sit-down interview with Darley. Hopefully we'll be able to schedule that out before the holidays. But if not, hopefully we can connect after the new year and really do some heavy promotion for season 10 of Travels with Darley. Wonderful travel program. And, what really sets her program apart from all the other travel shows, first of all, is Darley. She's fantastic on the show. And then second of all is that it really shows the local angle of any of the destinations that she is in. So, finds somebody who lives there and, makes contact with them, and they kind of become a quasi tour guide and shows her, all the great places to eat, drink, historic places. There's a lot of history in her programs as well. It's a great staff that does a lot of research for her shows. And, you come away really getting a sense of what it's like to be there 24/7 for your visits, for just even for, again, the history lesson that comes along with it. So that is Travels with Darley. Please take a look at the program. Actually, today, Wednesdays, is where I usually find it on PBS Create at 5:30 and on NYC TV at 1:30 in the afternoon. That's channel 25. That's the city owned and operated television station. And PBS Create comes off of WLIW out on Long Island. So on Comcast, I know it's 266. Over the air, it's channel 21.2. If you have an off-air antenna, I don't know what it is on Spectrum and Optimum or Verizon. I think Optimum is channel 133. Optimum, but I don't know what Spectrum is, as well as Verizon. So just check your local listings for date and time, as they used to say back in the old TV guide days, right? So again, that's Travels with Darley, darley-newman.com. We thank Darley for sponsoring the Tri-State Traffic Show. All right, so we're going to do a very, very quick look here this morning. Let me just keyboard to work again. That I promise you a little bit of sports. I got about 6 minutes left in the show. Fast, because I have to run. I got to leave here by 9:20. So here are the games tomorrow. The Thursday nighters: Raiders, Rams, Vikings, Lions. Sunday, Jets are the Bills. Oof, boy. I guess maybe the fact is that maybe it'll be much warmer than it would have been 2 weeks ago with all that snow. But again, the Giants, Eagles. Dun, 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 dun. I believe we're already week 14 of this. This is insanity. I can't believe it. Here. See what's another big game. Cowboys Texans game. I mean, that's just the pride of Texas, but I think the Cowboys should handle the Texans fairly handily. And again, they keep scheduling the Giants and Jets at the same time. Years ago, it was always one or the other. One was at 1, the other one was at 4. I don't understand why we can't, I mean, if you're a lover of football and you may want to follow, I mean, come on. I mean, trying to DVR a football game is not the easiest thing, not the easiest prospect. Broncos, Chiefs, Buccaneers, 49ers, Sunday. That I think is going to be a great game in San Francisco, even though Jimmy Garoppolo is out for the season. Tom Brady with that amazing come from behind win brings him to 500 at 6-6. Watch Tom Brady. That game, I think, energized him, energized the Bucs, and got to watch him. There's 5 games left in the season. If he goes 5 and out, those Bucs are in at 11 wins. They may even make it in at 10 wins, maybe even 9. This is where Tom Brady excels. That's where you got to watch out for. You've got to watch Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm just telling you now. That come from behind win is what put the wind back in his sails after all the drama off the field with the divorce and all this other stuff. That put him back in the headspace that he's a champion. He's the most amazing, one of the greatest football player probably of all time. Literally, that's why they call him the GOAT. Dolphins, Chargers, that could be an interesting game. Patriots, Cardinals. Jags, Titans. Browns, Bengals could be an interesting game as well. Let's quickly do this. I want to go to the standings now. We're at 9 o'clock as I'm really in here and already got off the air because I do have to go. But yeah, look at that log jam here on the AFC East. If the Jets were to put it together here, if they can beat the Bills, that could make things interesting if the Dolphins lose. AFC West, Chiefs. I mean, it's such parity here in the AFC. There's just no standout team whatsoever. Titans in the AFC South on top with 7-5. The Colts, Jags, Texans are just horrific. Ravens, Bengals. The Ravens are always one of those teams that always seems to make the playoffs, and I feel like nobody really, other than a diehard Ravens fan, doesn't really follow them. I don't know. It's just they're always there. They're always just kind of hanging around. Chiefs, Chargers. I mean, the AFC is just dreadful this season, except for the AFC East. That's about the only bright spot. I mean, look at this. Commanders 7-5-1. That tie could really throw a wrench into everything here for the Giants. Who knows if that takes the Giants out of the playoffs with that. That's why I think you have to beat the Eagles. You got to do it. No question about it. You can't take another loss. 49ers at 8-4. Seahawks, Cards. Rams, they're pretty much out of it. Vikings are in. Lions, Packers, Bears, just horrible. There's the Bucks on top of the NFC South, so they're a game ahead of the Falcons. So a win in San Francisco, I think they could win the NFC South. There's no question about that. And there's Brady again, hanging around. He's there. There's your guy. There he is. All right, friends. So let's do this now again as we wrap up here this morning. Please remember Pearl Harbor. Today is Pearl Harbor Day. This December 7th, 2022, 81 years ago today. These are just some of the photographs that I took back in 2016. So that was 6 years ago that we were there. This is kind of what you'll see here. This is the World War II Valor in the Pacific National Monument, the Arizona, Oklahoma, and the Utah. While there, they were, I think, doing some work as far as they were not letting you actually out to the Arizona, but I think that's changed. This is kind of overlooking the mountains here. This is where those Japanese planes ended up coming across Oahu and in towards Pearl Harbor. Just right over the mountains. There's the memorial for the Arizona. It's an unbelievable, I mean, part of it is when you're out there and you actually look back down at the water, you see the ship. I mean, you just see it. So there's the clock that stopped here at 8:04. It looks like 8:04 Hawaiian Standard Time. So it'll be 1:04 Eastern. So, at 1:04, maybe take a quick moment of silence if you could. Remember those that were lost. There's the USS Nevada, which got hit as well. And again, the Arizona itself is still leaking oil out of the tanks. You still see the oil. You visibly see the oil on top of the water. I don't know if I have a picture of that. I think this is the road that goes out to Hickam Air Force Base. You can see here, again, that's part of the ship. And as you look down, it's just unbelievable. Out of the Arizona. There, you can see it. See the oil? This is the oil that's still coming up. Still coming up after almost 75 plus years. Incredible. There's the memorial. Names of the soldiers that were lost. Personnel. Unbelievable. And again, it's just there's the you watch the movies, you hear the stories, but I mean, there's so many backstories as far as why the ships were in port, and it was just unbelievable. I mean, you have to go out by boat. The Marines memorial there at Pearl Harbor. So just a little look of some of the photographs there from Pearl Harbor. And again, on this Pearl Harbor Day, please don't forget, never forget that fateful day that brought the U.S. into World War II. All right, 9:05 is the time. We'll finish up with the comments. Ed, good morning. Good morning. Good to talk to you yesterday. And Connor, yes, I will see you at our meeting in a couple of hours later on today for the Jersey Access Group. Again, friends, please support your local access channels in your local communities, especially in New Jersey, where it's very, very big as far as for the rest of the tri-state as well. But my experience with New Jersey, obviously, and support them. All right, friends. So 9:05 is our time. Be careful with the visibility. Be careful with the wet weather. It's going to be very slippery here for the rest of the morning. I think once we get towards the mid-afternoon, I think things are going to kind of clear up a little bit for us. So the evening commute, I think, should be in fairly good shape. I want to thank Ed, Connor, Anna, Alexandra, and all of our friends who watch the replays, which I'm starting to see really starting to kick into high gear, quite honestly, is the replays. So that's some good news. Maybe we're starting to get into a different YouTube algorithm train or, lane, I should say. Let's just bring the shameless self-promotion again, friends. Please pass along to your friends. Tell them to subscribe to the Tri-State Traffic Show. We've actually picked up a couple subscribers here since we last saw you. But again, you see 53 views, 25, 53, 33, 55. So those numbers are coming up, so which is good. And we've only been doing this since May 9th. 5/9/22, and we're coming up on 7 months. Let's see, today's the 7th, 8th, on Friday. So we celebrate 7 months on Friday. Again, we're going for 200 subscribers and 200 episodes. We're at episode 135. Coming into the Clark area on the Garden State Parkway, exit 135 or 135 out on Long Island. Please pass along to your friends there. Ask them to subscribe to the Tri-State Traffic Show. All right, so let's finish up here. Again, we thank our sponsors, Cranford Vanilla Bean Creamery, Travels Darley, as well as Shave Cave and Maxim Motor Cars. We thank them so much for sponsoring the Tri-State Traffic Show. We thank all of you for dialing us in. Have a wonderful Wednesday. Let me just grab the button here. Have a wonderful Wednesday. Drive safely, and we'll see you tomorrow.